SpaceRandos.
Alright, here we are back making our spaceship, our custom design. We've called it the Diamondback. Gonna call the ship that and the design name that as well. Whatever, for now. This is an SM-8 ship we have settled on. It cost me $50 million. Yeah, hence the Diamondback, I guess. It was, we had to haul some diamonds to pay for that sucker. 150 feet in length, about 50 feet high and wide, so it's kind of a flying brick. It's unstreamlined. It's got 70 deca hit points. It moves at 2G. It can accelerate at 2G and can jump 1 parsec at a time. Its range, total range, of course, the reactionless thrusters can thrust forever as long as we've got power. So the only range that matters is the jumping capacity. We've got 2 fuel tanks that power up the star drive for a jump. These are, in this setting, these are just tanks full of liquid hydrogen, I guess. I guess it's liquefied. It's hydrogen anyways. I've got 100 tons worth of the stuff in 2 fuel tanks. That'll get me 4 jumps, which is 4 parsecs in total before we're run dry. We've got enhanced sensors. It's all I could afford. I couldn't afford the science array this time. Well, last time I just rolled it, luckily. I didn't have to pay for it. This time we have some more habitat space. We have 2 bunk rooms, so that's 4 people per bunk room. So that's 8 people can jam into those bunk rooms. We've got 2 cabins. Those are space for up to 2 people. And then 1 luxury cabin, which the captain can take for whenever we don't need to, if we're not hauling passengers. We've got armor on this thing. This is a nice change. 15 Decadr armor on all hull sections. So that's a huge improvement. My last ship was so fragile, and I was such a bad pilot. Anytime we just touched anything or failed a piloting roll, we were destroying the ship. So this time we can a little more forgiveness there. If we scrape up the hull a bit, the armor will take it. We've got an extra habitat dedicated to 30 tons of steerage. So it's just a climate-controlled, pressurized, livable space, kind of habitable space that's used for storage. So that's kind of like I remember the Firefly cargo hold in their ship there, the Firefly. They played basketball or whatever it was in the cargo hold. That would be a steerage habitat in GURPS terms. Just a big open space that'll take 30 tons of cargo. Not quite as efficient as the full cargo hold. I've got a system of that as well. That'll take 50 tons, but that's not temperature controlled or pressurized. Probably no air in there. So our next system is mining. I've got a mining system on here, which is great for if we detect any more natural resources, we can extract that and haul it home. There's fuel tanks, engine room, armor, power reactor. Nothing special there. The back hull of this hull section is full of engines. 4 engines, a star drive, armor, and a fuel tank in the core. The hull midsection, in the core, we have the power reactor buried in there, so that thing doesn't go supernova. It's well protected. However, we do have a fuel tank exposed in the center hull. And the second fuel tank is buried in the aft core, so that can't be targeted or detonated by fire. And last but not least, we've got a weapon on this sucker. We've got a secondary weapons battery, which gives us 3 guns, 3 weapons anyways, and I've split that to make this interesting. So we've got 2 14-centimeter rail guns mounted on this sucker, all in the front, and we've got 1 missile launcher tube, so 1 space torpedo tube, which is kind of cool. I like the idea of having the option to launch a torpedo at the enemy, because those are much more rangy. Those the range on those missiles are extreme, I believe. missile launcher. Oh, no, it's not quite big enough. The 20 to 28 centimeter size are long range, and the electromagnetic guns, the rail guns, are only short range. So if somebody gets close enough, we can really bite them with those rail guns. With the long range, with the missile, can reach out and touch someone. We went and bought, so I got a full complement of ammo, so we're fully stocked there, 150 rounds for each gun. I could only afford 12 missiles. Those things are expensive. The missiles are a quarter ton each, and they're the size of a man. They're about 6 feet long, weighing about 200 to 400 pounds. So these are good-sized missiles, and of course, what were they? 28 centimeters in diameter. So there's a foot long. That's a 12-inch ruler. That's 30 centimeters. So 28 centimeters is just kind of less 1 inch. So 11-inch diameter missiles we're chucking into space. It's a good chunk of metal. A good bit of detonation capability there. The damage is, I haven't written down the damage actually. Let's take a quick look at that. The damage for the 28 centimeters, 6d6 times 7. That's for the missiles. The railguns, 14 centimeters, are 3d6 times 7. 3d6 times 7, or 66 times 7. So that missile really packs a punch. Twice the damage of a hit you take from the railguns. And then I had a little bit of a couple million left, and talk about expensive. For $1.25 million each, you can buy nukes. So I bought two 2.5 megaton antimatter nukes. This is going to be interesting. So those are so in space combat, it's quite often that you miss, just like any GURPS combat. The dodge roll can send your $1.25 million missile hurling off into space. So, you know, I've got these kind of silver bullets. I've got 2 shots if I really need to lay into something, kind of do or die situation. I've got the nukes on board. That's not going to be good if my weapons battery gets shot up and destroyed. It may set off my nukes, but either way, I just thought that was pretty cool. I've never had nukes before in this game, and I am looking forward to using them on somebody. I am a psycho. Okay, these suckers do 8d6 times 5,000 damage. And then if they're in an atmosphere, you get the explosion modifier on that, so the shockwave just rolls for a long ways. That doesn't seem, by GURPS rules, that doesn't seem like it would really make 50 kilometers or anything like that, but anyways, we'll worry about that when we do it. Hopefully we won't have to nuke any planets. These are antimatter. These are antimatter nukes, by the way, so they're not, quote, dirty. They don't leave the nasty radiation behind. They're just as nasty with the explosion, but they don't irradiate a planet. So I guess these are nicer to use. Yeah. Anyways, we'll probably use these in space if I encounter some big nasty creature or spaceship I can't get away from. Try and nuke it and run. So yeah, wow. That's a big improvement from the last ship we had. A lot bigger. 3 times as bigger. No, 10 times as big, I believe. Yep. No, just over 2.5 times the length, and 10 times the weight. This is 1,000 tons. The other was 100 tons, I believe. So this is a big sucker. Yeah, as far as the accommodations, we can comfortably house 11 crew. We can jam 14 in if we want to fill the bunks and fill the cabins to their max. the crew to run this thing is just checking this tonnage here. Yeah, we went up 10 times in tonnage. The crew to run this thing, there's 4 control stations. I should write that actually. 4 control stations in the control room. The engine room has 1. Let's make a note of that. So my engineering man can hang out in the engineering bay all the time, because we will need him once we get into combat. He'll have to do some switching of power, or boosting the output, stuff like that, to get us moving quicker. Overloading engines is a nice tactical advantage sometimes. Yeah, all 4 crew can reside in the control room at their workstations and work together better that way, I suppose. Yeah, that's about it. I guess it really only takes 1 or 2 crew members to fly this sucker. 1 pilot, maybe a navigator. Maybe not even. Yeah, all that. Oh, I stocked it up with food. I have to start buying food now that I'm no longer working on the dime of the Plato 2 governmental body. I returned the ship, partially broken. Actually, I do have to fix that too before I can return that ship. Engines. I destroyed one of the reactionless engines. So I owe them. Oh, lovely. I owe them $1 million. Great. Oh, darn it. There's my last $1 million. I had $1.4 million left over. It's going to save for ammo restocking and refuel, but yep, I forgot to pay them damages. So we returned the ship pretty much as we found it. We did make some changes on the go, modifications to that ship, but yeah, it was on a loan so that we could do the exploration for the planetary governmental body. We made good on that. We explored a lot of planets, about half of them in the star system. And now, and we beat everybody else to that vein, that diamond mine we found in P8, and we mined that sucker. Yeah, we cleaned it right out. There's probably a lot more existing elsewhere. We just have to take the time to go there and scan for it. Although now we don't have the science sensors, so we're not going to be as capable at detecting or finding anything like this anymore. But hopefully we can upgrade that later. I'm gonna miss those science sensor arrays, I can tell. Anyways, so yeah, the governmental body, I guess, in world here should technically be happy with their return on investment. They got their ship back. They learned a lot about the star system, and that it seems so far to be fairly benign. We haven't run into any antagonists yet. They're out there. It's just a matter of random encounter rolls. So yeah, nobody on the planet is overly enthusiastic about going to space for natural resources. The idea being the planet is still very rich in resources to mine, and they're able to just go about their lives more safely and cheaply on planet. But yeah, they're looking to the stars and thinking about reclaiming the system after centuries and centuries of isolation. It's not a bad isolation, I suppose. They're on a very nice garden planet. It was 1G. Yeah, it's a very Earth-like planet, so they're very comfortable. And yeah, that about sums that up. The Diamondback is ready for blastoff for our next mission. This is going to be exciting. See where these clowns go next. I think I might visit some new planets next. We'll think about that. Until next time, roll on. SpaceRandos. Pew pew pew.